The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome into another... Oh, wow, is that way too loud? Why does it look so loud? Is that Adam's fault again? Definitely Adam's fault. Sorry about the audio. It's Adam's fault. And also, too, a slight issue, guys. Just a little one, not a big deal. But I cannot find my headphones. Been messing around in the office, cleaning a little bit, and I've seemed to have misplaced my headphones. Now, all that means, it's really not a big deal. All that means is I'm going to probably turn the music off soon and not have music going because I won't be able to hear it. And also, I won't be able to watch any other videos and like react to any videos or anything like that. And don't worry, we'll find the freaking headphones. They got to be somewheres. I would like to believe they're close. I have no fucking idea, guys. I've been doing a lot of messing around in here, and I don't know where they could be. So anyway, yeah, I already forgot how to stream. You know, I've only been gone for a couple of days, and thank you for your patience on that. Appreciate it. I've only been gone for a couple of days, and I already forgot how to stream. How do you do this? What do I do with my hands? What do I do with my hands? And also, what up? What up? How you guys doing? I thought you were in the backseat of my work vehicle. What? Oh, what? When I said it? Why are you so zoomed in? Am I zoomed in? How dare you? How dare you get me to question that? Am I really zoomed in? Should I zoom out? How dare you? James Gunn stole my headphones. Yeah, no, he seems to have stolen my headphones. But guess what, James? It's not going to stop me, motherfucker. It's not going to stop me because I got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3 pages of notes of shitting on the DCU. It's over, baby. But just chill. We'll get there. We'll get there. I switched from headphones to wireless H3s, and the sound peaked for my PC. They sound amazing. Brother, I don't know what that means. Wireless H3s from SoundPete. Nice looking hairpiece. What the fuck? I'm gone for a few days. This is what I come back to. Now my voice is soft? Jeez, man. All right, I'll turn it back up. Oh yeah, love streaming. Really missed you guys. Love coming in here and being dragged into a million fucking directions. It's awesome. It's so bright. Keep it to your fucking self. I mean, thanks for the feedback. Appreciate you. Do you think Tony's dream in Infinity War is Doom's reality about having a baby? Yeah, I actually do think so. I think there's something to that. You know what's funny about that? And in all seriousness, guys, I am excited to get back, actually. And we do have some really fun topics today. So we're going to talk a little DC. We're going to talk a little Supergirl. But there's a lot of Marvel, too. There's some really interesting stuff being said about Spider-Man. And, man, really, really wild stuff about Doomsday. That Doomsday leak, Campia commented on it a little bit more, so I wanted to get into that. And then Alex Perez shared and dropped this list of, like, dope shit coming out after Secret Wars, one of them being the Shadow King. And you know, Geeky Cast is suggesting that the role that we heard Denzel Washington had written for him by Ryan Coogler is actually Shadow King. Dude, get the fuck out of town. That's insane. That's crazy cool. So we're gonna talk about that. We got a lot to get into for sure. But one thing I'll say about the homies question. The thing I find so interesting about that question is when Infinity War and Endgame were coming out, the Russos hosted a Q&A, and it was via all sorts of social media. And that question that they were asked about Tony's dream actually came from Jeremy Conrad, which is really interesting. He's not a Jeremy Conrad is not a nobody. Jeremy Conrad is plugged in. Jeremy Conrad knows shit, bro. And so I just was like, is that a coincidence? Like, did the Russos pick that question randomly and like Jeremy just got through or whatever? Or is there something else going on there? And Jeremy's question about that dream and then the way the Russos responded to it has always interested me because they said it's a dream, but dreams are mysterious things. And I always go back to a lot of the interviews with Joss Whedon for Age of Ultron because he referred to the scene in the cave as a dream sequence, and he would continuously talk about like those visions as though they were dreams of some kind. So anyway, sorry to ramble on that one, but yeah, I definitely think there's something to that. I definitely think there's something to that. New photos especially confirm LD Young is back in Daredevil Born Again season 3. Yeah, I saw images of that. I actually got pretty excited about that. I always thought she was great, and that whole season with her and Matt was incredible. The tension was palpable. She's awesome. She brings a presence to the screen. She's obviously very beautiful. She has like an exotic beauty, which I think is just like perfect for the Elektra character. Man, I like that character. Man, you guys know what mic are you using right now? I'm using this mic. Why? Does it sound terrible? Why do you ask? In the middle of me gushing about Elektra. How dare you? She was in Defender season 1 too. Was she? Oh shit, yeah, because the whole thing's about her coming back to life. Oh, all right. You sound different today. Sounds great. Then there's got to be something wrong. We're going to have to fix it. Hey, Josh, do you think Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards is the true Tony Stark in the MCU? You know what's funny about that? Like, I hope not, man. I fucking hope not. That I could actually see them doing something weird like that, but man, I hope not, bro. Man, I hope not. It sounds shallow. Should I turn it up? Sheesh. It's like quality control in here every day, every time we put it on. He has the classic Tony look. He does kind of look like classic Tony. It would explain the mustache as well, but also I hate it. Don't do it. I've had enough of Pedro. I think we're going to have more Pedro, but I'm personally a little Pedro'd out. You know, just me. I'm a little Pedro'd out. Gene and Scott, the new leaders post Secret Wars. Yeah, I think so. I think you're probably right. And you know what, too? Because we're going to talk about Supergirl today, and we're going to talk about Jean Grey. And I actually do want to draw an important distinction here because both of them are obviously female characters. And like you can just see how they're kind of being treated a little bit differently. And if what I think they're doing with Jean Grey is what they're doing, it's just a much better way to establish your new really important female hero, you know? And look, we'll get into it, but the Supergirl thing, it's like, it's just fucking tough, man. Like this thing's getting raked over the coals right now. The official reviews drop at noon, by the way. So I actually want to talk a little bit about Marvel first, and then we'll talk about Supergirl, because the reviews will drop at noon, and we can see as it comes in if it will end up being a Rotten Tomato or not. But from the looks of it so far, I mean, I think that shit's gonna be pretty rotten. People are being pretty tough on it. Man, like, dude, like, I don't know if y'all saw this or not. I'll say this to you guys. I won't put this in the segment because, believe it or not, I do try to be fucking nice. I did delete some tweets. I have this thing, okay? I really don't like James Gunn. I think he's doing a terrible job, but outside of that, I actually just don't like him. You know what I mean? I don't like him. There's like nothing about him I like. I look at this, I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the hair. I don't like the face. I don't like the smile. I don't like the words that come out of his mouth. But I've tried to be like as fair as possible. And there are even some things that I do that I think are a little unfair. And the reality is, when I post some stuff on social media, particularly about James Gunn, some of the anti-Gunn people, they artificially inflate some of the tweets I make. Okay. And so, I mean, in a way that's kind of funny and it's kind of cool, right? Because I was sort of created in that sense by Gunn himself. He tried to strike me down with his social media power and ended up making me like a martyr of these people that really fucking hate him. But the point I'm making is, like, even I will post some shit sometimes and it starts to go viral and I'm like, that's a little unfair, you know, or that's a little too much or whatever. And I'll delete it because otherwise you fucking Snyder bro animals would send that shit trending like crazy. And I say all of that to say that, like, the situation with Supergirl is, like, to be honest, a little tough, because when I looked at the videos and the photos of the premiere, bro, it looks like everybody just took 2 Zolofts and said, fuck it, let's get through it. Because their body language is terrible. They're giving terrible answers. The energy's low. It was fucking embarrassing. It looks bad, man. It looks like really bad. But again, I'm not going to put that into like the segment part because I don't want that to be a part of the video that goes out and et cetera, et cetera. But bro, I think this is a pretty tough situation and I feel really bad for Millie, dude. I feel really bad for Millie. It's ultimately Gunn's fault. Like, whenever James Gunn came to Millie and said, like, hey, you do this, it's going to be fine. The fans will love you. This will be awesome. Like, he fucked up. He fucked up when he did that. And he fucked up. He's literally, all of this is his fault. But man, I can't imagine, like, holy shit, they're being brutal to her. I think she's a cute girl. You know what I mean? She's like, she's not like, I guess, stereotypically hot or whatever, according to the fucking internet. And they're like dogging her. And it's like, holy shit. It just, so I think the scope of the hate and I think the backlash and all that, I think it's like, it's too much. It's too much. It's over the top. It feels like a parody or something. It's just like weird. However, at the same time, I almost feel like it's still their fault because the world is the way that it is, and it's like you set her up for a bad time, man. Like, you set her up for a really bad fucking time by not understanding what's going on. And the truth is, especially on the fucking internet, people are gonna be really fucking mean, dude. They're not rewarded for being nice. And also, a lot of them are really fucking mad about all sorts of stuff. Might not be related to movies or DC or whatever, but there's plenty of shit to be pretty mad about in the world. And you're gonna take it out in an ugly way, bro. You know? So, goddamn, like, I just feel bad for Millie. Like, Millie, I think Millie's great. You know, whatever, dude. She got fucking approached She thought this thing would be awesome, and it turns out it's not going a good way. I just feel like there's no reason to turn that into like whatever's going on. This sort of vile overreaction, taking it over the top. It just feels a bit nasty, to be honest with you. Watch Those Wrist Rockets says, "Hey Josh, been busy with life past couple of months, so just now catching up on streams. It looks like you've been killing it. Keep going, baby." Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, no, we're in a good spot. We're making some changes, some adjustments over here. There's been some growing pains, and I had to take a couple of streams off recently to get all that going. But we're in a good direction. I feel really good, and I feel like excited about the direction we're going in. I feel confident about the coming success. Yeah, this world can be cruel to some people sometimes. It's really sad. Yeah, and like, look, it's like I understand it too, because especially when you're on Twitter or whatever, like it's a little bit of that, like you get kind of like amped up and you want to shit talk and it's funny and you're literally rewarded for it, right? Like you say some nasty, funny thing and it hits people the right way and people reward you with likes and all this sort of stuff. So you're almost like incentivized to do that and to be nasty. And I think that's a part of it. I personally, I don't know. I just want to draw this distinction of like, that's a reality and that's the thing that's going on. But as a leader, and this was one of my big criticisms of like Kathleen Kennedy as well, as a leader, be aware of the terrain you're entering. Like this would be like a general or a scout, coming back and reading the terrain of a battle completely fucking wrong. And then you go into this battle thinking it's going to be like great weather, sturdy ground. And you're like, it's a mud pit in here. I'm really mad. But it's your responsibility to know if it's a mud pit, you got to be able to fight in the mud or move the battle or whatever. Right. So I feel like the thing that's one of the problems with Gunn and DC specifically, and it's, not to go to therapy land, but it's because he's truly broken. Because he got fired and dogpiled on social media, he sort of turned around and was hyper defensive about it and was projecting a lot of the pain that he experienced onto others, including myself. That's literally what he did to me. But the problem is like, that's not what an adult does. And that doesn't lay the ground for a good relationship to any one of those particular groups. It's like just continuing this cycle. And I'm being dead ass here. Like I'm actually being serious. There can be no sort of consensus healing or maturity of a thing so long as the person that is running the thing is allowing their brokenness to seep in to all of these different areas. And the other thing is, because what happened to James was so unfair the first go around, there's this notion that's created as a part of coping that is every criticism that comes through that angle by which I was hurt is invalid. It's toxic. It's bad. It's misogyny or whatever, whatever word you want to use. And that creates this false shield against criticism. It's the same thing with Star Wars. It's literally the same thing with Star Wars. It's like, yeah, people were probably pretty fucking toxic or unfair, and some of that was really nasty. And then, like, what you do is you use that as a shield against any actual criticism. Like, Gunn's fucked up a lot, dude. And one of the ways in which he's fucked up is by being so reckless on social media. And yet, anytime any person tries to actually direct real criticism towards him, the company, the leadership, the philosophy, the culture that he's created, it's put into the bucket of being like incredibly toxic and horrible. Well, that's like a fucking terrible recipe for growth and good relations. It's really bad. So man, I again, like I'm not going to put any of this into the clip or whatever. This is just us bullshitting before we get into the like show. But I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad for a lot of the people that are attached to this thing. I think this thing's a sinking ship, and it's getting clowned on in a way that's like, yeah, totally gross, totally over the top, way too much. But that's the fucking internet. Welcome to the world in 2026. So I don't know. That's just a fucking yap session. First yap session of the day. First yap session of the day. Braden says, in being a member, oh, I gotta let my dog in. I have gotten engaged, married, had a kid in July. Not saying Den of Nerd membership caused this, but not saying it wasn't. Yeah, look, this is just one of the dirty little secrets of the Nerd Vengers, is that you know, when you sign up, like basically every part of your life improves in a way that defies logic and almost seems as though it's magical. But I'm not allowed to say that. Results may vary, etc., etc. Okay, hang on one second. I gotta let the dog in. Let's pull up a thing here. We obviously have to work on this. This is not the right setup. It's Adam! Fucking Adam! Come on. You two. Both dogs are outside? All right, you go. Come on, Leia. Come on. Oh, you little stinker. Inside there. Come on. Inside. Go. Adam! This is exactly what we need for this setup here. My God. My God, Adam, I thought you'd have this sorted out by now. All right. Where's the background music? I need the ambience. It's because no background music today. Okay? Hum a little doodad. Hum a little zinger dinger whatever. No music. Because I don't have headphones today, so I can't hear it. And if I don't get to have ambience, you don't get to have ambience. My Time to Shine just reported Wanda is the main lead and villain of the Mutant Saga. Whoa. Get out of town. Are you serious? Are you for serious right now? Turn the autofocus off on the camera? Maybe I will. But not right now. Did she say that for serious? Why does the mic sound far away? Oh, you know what? Actually, that's actually fair because the reason here, let me fix this. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. Oh shit! How do I fix it? Okay, hang on. Boom. 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 Okay. Okay, that's probably a little bit better, yeah? The reason we changed that is because I have these wireless microphone, Johns, that I was messing with. These Rode, whatever the fuck. And they use different filters and whatnot. So here we go. Should be good. Josh is slowly going insane. Probably not so slowly, my friend, you know? Probably not so slowly. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right here. And shut your mouth when you're talking to me. How'd you lose those big ass headphones? That's actually a great question. How did I lose those big ass headphones? That doesn't make any sense. They got to be somewhere, huh? Came for Josh, stayed for the dogs. Thanks, man. VTJ Production says Elektra gonna murder Heather in season 3. Sound good? Sounds incredible. Sounds amazing. Absolutely wonderful. Okay, well here's the thing. I think we start shitting on DC. and the DCU. And by the time we're done with that, the official reviews for Supergirl should start to come out on Rotten Tomatoes. So we'll watch that happen at around noon, or at around noon. And then we'll get into some Marvel stuff. Does that sound good? My name is Doom. Rural Michael, thank you for the 10, says, longtime watcher, been lurking since 2021. Love the content, mate. Keep the nerd energy flowing. Also, that first episode of House of the Dragon season 3 was fire. Yeah, I liked that episode. I didn't love it, though. I kind of wanted more. I know. I'm so greedy, huh? I'm so greedy. Keston G, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers. Appreciate you, man. Connor Mullis says, guess what I am eating? I'm going to guess beef jerky, Doritos, and a can of beans. Joshua Campbell says, can you do a whole segment with the helium voice? I still don't even understand what the fuck happened with the helium voice. Like, I couldn't even recreate it. It would be kind of funny to recreate it. I don't even know what it was. I don't even know how it happened. Connor says, if you guess smoked pork chop mac and cheese with tangy cheddar sauce, you'd be correct. So tangy, so creamy. Give me more papa. You had me in the first half there. Second half, a little too much. But that does sound good. Smoked pork chop mac and cheese. Right on. Right on. Rock and roll. Shit on the DCU, please. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into shitting on the DCU. I need to get... Don't freeze on me now. Don't freeze on me now. My computer. Don't freeze on me now. Okay. First step. That's good right there. All right, hang on now. Let's get on the Twitters. Oh my God. Grace is doing her actual review at 12 p.m. Or no, she'll release the review at 12. And then she'll do a live stream tonight at 5:30. That's interesting. Yeah, people have been hitting on this, John, man. Oh, this is tough to watch. Oh, this shit's tough to watch. Oh man. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right, hang on now, chat. I know you might be asking yourself, like, shouldn't it be done all this shit before the stream? Shh. Shut your mouth, okay? Connor says, do you ever just sing the alphabet for fun? I do, in fact. I am right now. I am currently on the letter J. I don't know what that means, but I don't like it. Wait, which tweet are you talking about, Kaylin? You talking about this tweet right here, dog? Don't worry, I had that shit pulled up, you know. Oh, wait, no, that's not the right one, but this is another one he did that's a banger. Says, I just saw a Supergirl review that says the movie is like Guns, Guardians of the Galaxy mixed with Joss Whedon's Justice League. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Woo! Okay. All right, let's get into it. Hang on, we gotta pause that there. Oh boy. Oh man, a couple days without streaming, but here we go. Back at it. Back to work. Oh, so tough. Gotta make the donuts, so tough. Give me a second. Okay. Well, Supergirl reviews going to drop today. Less than an hour, okay? Less than an hour. We're going to find out for sure what the Rotten Tomatoes says about one Supergirl. But I got to tell you, it's not looking good. A lot of people shitting on it. Even the social media reactions, like, you kind of know when the social media reactions are bad. Which, by the way, the glowing first one started out pretty good because I'm pretty sure James Gunn had Soups on one side and Brandon Davis on the other side, and he probably literally jerked him off while he watched the movie. So the first social media reviews for the thing seemed to be almost deceptively good. And then as more and more normal people watched it, even the social media reviews have turned pretty bad, okay? And so this right here is the Rotten Tomatoes page, and at noon, in less than a half hour, we will start to get reviews rolling in on this, John, and we will know for sure, but probably by the end of the day, I would imagine, what kind of a score we're looking at. Now, what does it even mean? Like, what does it even matter? How is this going to potentially move the needle or not? Well, with where we're at right now, the box office predictions for this thing are within a range that, although I would argue, regardless of what end of the range it ends up on, are bad, it's a 55 to 70 million thing. And I think especially just with just literally how rough things are for DC right now, literally any number that can get higher than that 5 would be really, really good. Anything with a 4 in front of it would be a goddamn disaster, okay? And I actually do predict a disaster. And there's a 2-minute clip from me on that very first day when the social media reviews came out for this movie. Are generally positive on it, at least so far in the social media reactions. But I got to tell you guys, and I'm not just saying this because I fucking hate James Gunn, okay? I need you to understand that. Yes, I fucking hate that guy. Fucking hate his stupid self, okay? But I'm not saying this because I hate him. I'm saying it because I think it's accurate and I want to look like a genius again, Nerdstradamus style, okay? So just understand the motivation here. I think this thing is going to be a rotten tomato. I know, dude, I know. But I think these social media reviews, you got to appreciate how radical this was, because we're talking about like the very day that it came out, so many people trying to say it was good. So many people trying to say that the social media reactions were really, really strong. And at first they seemed way better than they eventually did. It was ballsy of me to say this. Oh, it didn't even pause? What the fuck? After everybody gets done shitting on this thing, it's going to bomb even worse. So this 51 million? Yeah. Is going to be even worse. Okay, so the only reason I've been bringing that up is because I just wanted to be clear that that was my prediction, and I think I'm going to end up being proven to be right again. Okay? And the only thing this would even mean, and I'm trying to find this one specific thing that he had here because it's so funny. The only thing that this is really going to mean, this is a great James Gunn quote here. The only thing this is really going to mean is that 55 and that potential 60 and that potential 70 million plus opening or whatever is probably going to go away. I mean, dude, it already looked like this thing was going to bomb. But now we're talking about going from a pretty bad flop and a pretty bad bomb to something that's just abysmally bad. The degree to which Warner Brothers and really Paramount can probably not just ignore, right? And man, I thought that the images coming out from the actual premiere, man, oh, they're kind of rough, dude. Everybody looks super deflated. It's almost like they're going through the motions, and like people are bringing up some of the things that Gunn said, and they're like, he looks so exhausted, he looks so tired. It's just really not a good look. And the truth is, it's because the DCU is sauceless. It's sauceless, man. It has zero sauce, and I saw so many people on social media pointing this out. You look at this cast and crew, even when you had your David Corn Sweat, and you had the Lois actress, and you got Millie, and like you got that whole group, and even Momoa. You know what I mean? Momoa's the biggest star, the most charismatic out of all of them. They just don't have the sauce, and the whole thing feels like James Gunn's band of misfit toys. That is really ultimately what it feels like. And we've also reached a place where people are so not going to be nice about this. And you know, I do find some of that grifting and some of those stuff to be, you know, pretty tiresome. I'm not like personally that into it. But man, if they didn't just give ammunition after ammunition, you know, whatever this person said, you know, whatever that person said, and then Gunn himself is such a doofus with the way that he speaks on social media and the way that he's rubbed everybody the wrong way for so long, and he got caught lying out of both sides of his mouth so many times that there's just not a lot of charity left within motherfuckers, man. Like people, even people that are trying to be chill about this, like I actually did not anticipate it being this bad this fast. Okay, now I want to say something actually constructive. I want to say something that could hopefully get you to understand just how bad this is. You might say, and I saw a lot of DC fans with this kind of a cope, that it's only 2 movies in, and Marvel had missteps back in the day, and you know it's okay, and it made all this money from marketing deals of perfumes or whatever kind of shit, and that's the new way, and like that it's not as bad as people are saying, and that all of this is okay. But here's the problem. When you create a cinematic universe now, not when Marvel was creating it and pioneering what that was like, but when you create it now, you need momentum. You need to build off of what has come before, okay? The mark of every failed cinematic universe within the past 10 years has been a failure to build momentum. So the Dracula Untold movie into the Mummy movie with Tom Cruise, and it's just like, you can't justify doing more of them. And the reason you can't justify doing more of them is because if you can't even get the connection between a couple of movies to add up and pop off and get people excited, it's not going to ever work. You're not going to get the ensemble. You can't do the Dirty Dozen if nobody gives a fuck about the dozen, right? That's why they fall apart. And with this one in particular, Gunn sets up this Superman movie, right? And the Superman, I mean, it's so obvious now, particularly after looking at these Supergirl numbers, just how Superman really underperformed. Because here's the idea, guys. If Superman was this big cultural hit, if Superman was this, like, it blew up in the way that some of the Gunn fans or some of the DC fans act like it did, then how can the derivative version of that character, where he's in the movie and he's all over the marketing, like, dude, Corn Sweat Superman, they leaned on heavy in the marketing for this movie, even more so than Lobo, I think. And yet we're looking at a potential historic bomb. So if Superman, if Gunn's DCU, if the Superman movie is this big thing and it's so cool and holy shit, people love the Superman, then why isn't the Superman being in his cousin's movie moving the needle at all? It's not like we don't know that Superman's in there. It's all over the marketing. The answer is because people really didn't care as much about that Superman as you thought. And that lackluster box office is probably made up of at least 30 to 40% of people that went out to give it a try, but weren't really fucking with it like that. That's the truth. And so this is worse than just a flop in a second go out for a cinematic universe. I think this is a clear sign that this thing is sauceless and it's not going to be able to build upon itself. It's literally just not going to be able to build upon itself. I suppose their last chance could be Man of Tomorrow, and it's possible that movie will carry more from Superman and some of the goodwill, and people will be excited about it, and Lex Luthor's in it, and you got more Corn Sweat and this, that, second, and third. But like, brother, I'm just not seeing this as working, and I don't see how they continue this, man. I don't see how they continue this. Now, to throw a bone to them, we'll do a segment here in a second where I kind of speculate about what they could do to fix DC, because one of the crazy ironies here is that for the first time in a long time, DC is actually killing it in the comics. They're doing great and overtaking Marvel in some ways, and yet that cultural impact is just not there. Like, unfortunately, live action movies and television, it still seems to be the biggest way to get people to really support it and bring an idea like DC and their heroes into the zeitgeist. And that's just not happening with DC, even now. It's actually crazy how much of a disparity there is, where the comic book version is killing it, and the live action version is like, we're flopping fucking hard 2 movies in, dude. We're totally checked out of the international audience in our first Superman movie, and how we solve that problem is going right into a derivative female version of that character, which, look, by all accounts, seems to be not even a good movie. The one thing this thing could have been is actually super solid, like a great film, and then maybe it would have had legs, or at least some critical acclaim to give cachet to the universe. You're not even getting that. People are shitting on this thing. And I mean, you look at some of these things, right? Like, so I didn't watch the Nerd Rock video on this, but the clip before his video went viral. And it's this little portion where Gunn, remember when he was in that lot and he was like, Gods and Monsters, and we're going to do Paradise Lost, and we're doing a Waller show, and we're doing the Authority movie. It's not just that it's failing, it's that this dude came in and said he was going to do all this shit. He talked all this game. He was super active on social media, right? And he's fucking it up. How can this persist? How can they justify doing more of this? If Man of Tomorrow performs at the level of Superman or lower, I think you have to reboot. I think you have to reboot. Okay? So this is really fucking bad, dude. And one of the other things too is when you look at what they're trying to do here, the whole idea is to make Millie this important piece that would then be utilized in other films or shows down the line. That's the whole idea. Who's going to even know who she is? Who is going to give a singular fuck what she is in if her movie is like wholesale rejected? It's like none of this is working. None of this is working. It's really, really bad. At least from my perspective. Again, we've got 15 minutes till the reviews start rolling in. Maybe I'll look so stupid. Maybe I'll look like a big old dumb idiot guy because the glowing reviews will roll in. This thing will ascend to $100 million domestic opening, and all is well in the universe, and James Gunn just gets to keep on cooking. Or make your Buzz Lightyear stupid whatever movie with Superman's fighting the Brainiacs thing, and then get the fuck out of my face, and let's try this again. Because it's literally not working. Okay, chat. Am I crazy? Am I crazy here? Let's go over some of these things you guys are talking about. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Eric says, fuck James Gunn. This movie will make 5 cents on the $5 more months till Diamond. Okay, well, there you go. That's a nice positive sentiment towards Gunn. That's how the fans are feeling. Updated Supergirl box office is now 27 to 39 million. Get out of town. Are you serious? I mean, that's like exactly what I was just talking about. That's why the reviews matter. That's why the reviews matter, because you were already going to bomb. Now it might be world class. Now it might be one for the books, as they say. Holy shit. Supergirl is the DCU's Marvels. It is, and yet Marvel's about to launch Jean Grey, Sadie Sink's Jean Grey, as like one of the big major faces of their next franchise. And I would argue they're doing it in a completely different way than what Goon is doing with Supergirl and that. And I actually think there's some real spice here with what they're doing with Jean Grey. And if they pull it off and Jean Grey is awesome in the next saga, I mean, it just makes Gunn look even worse. It's like, yeah, you don't know what the fuck you're doing, brother. That box office is for overseas. Oh, okay. There you go. Well, not as bad as we thought. Deadline is saying max 50 million. Oh boy, man, these are not good numbers. Space Trick Serial. Space Tricks Noir says, I love the idea of you watching Maul and decapitating the cutouts. You should watch each episode with a knife to a different cutout's head. Hey, maybe, brother, maybe we could do something like that. Okay. Yeah. Millie YouTube 1148 says, what sucks is that DC is killing it in the comics. They need to scrap the DCU and start live action comics universe. Yeah, look, I totally agree with that. Actually, it's the next thing I want to talk about here. Is that it's like absurd how well they're succeeding in the comics. And like to look at that and not just be like, okay, so we're underperforming international audiences with Superman, Supergirl's about to flop, but we're selling how many copies of Absolute Batman? What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here? And yeah, so we're gonna get into that. Star Wars that says, so Supergirl is not solid. I mean, we're about to find out what the consensus is from the reviewers, the community of reviewers. I'm not watching this thing, man. I'm not watching this thing, and I'm never going to watch this thing. I have zero desire to watch this thing. And I don't know, maybe if you're doing a comic book cinematic universe, you should be creating content that lifelong comic book fans that have enjoyed other cinematic universes would like want to enjoy. You know, like that. I don't know. Is that too crazy? Is that a radical idea? Super Trev says Absolute Batman 20 sold over 1 million copies. Also, as Snyder has major announcement tomorrow regarding Absolute stuff. People speculate it could be cartoon anime project. Yeah, and here's the thing that's crazy, dude. Oh no, are we lagging? Are we lagging? What's up? Hey, whoa, hey, whoa. What are we lagging for? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth stream. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Well, I don't like it. How can we not experience buffering? Adam! Stream is foobar? Shut it down? Holy shit. Now the audio's all loud again. Is the audio too loud? Did all the filters go off? What the hell's going on here? Hello? Okay, there we go. This is all Adam's fault. Where's the camera? Are you kidding me? Oh, you know what sucks about this? You know what? Can I now complain? I now have to complain. Okay? I now have to complain. So, no sound. And now it's delayed? Yeah, no, I have to complain now. Okay, I have to complain a little bit. All right, listen, Linda. Okay, I have been putting off buying a $6,000 PC. There's this perfect PC. Okay, and I like priced it all out. I like got it all sorted, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is the one that'll solve all my problems. And it's through Starforge Systems. who I am an affiliate with. There's no volume? Oh, okay. Like I said, guys, we got to sort it out. Everybody relax. No, the volume probably wasn't good, actually. It was probably fucked up, Mike. Listen, Linda, listen. I've been putting off buying this computer. Yeah, I know. I'm an affiliate. I just haven't said shit about the affiliate thing because I don't have the new computer. Just listen. Just hear me out. If you're from Starforge Systems, the reason I haven't bought this PC is because I want it to be gifted to me. I know. Ridiculous. But if you're from Starforge Systems, just fucking give me the PC. Otherwise, I'm going to have to buy this piece of shit. Free is crazy. Is it though? Is it though? Look, I have the money. It's right there. And I could spend it. And I probably will have to fucking spend it. Because let's be honest, nobody's going to... You really don't need to spend $6,000. See, I know I don't, Adam, because they could just give me the $6,000 PC. You see what I mean? Right? So, I know that sounds crazy. What about half off? Deal. No, listen. I know for sure that other streamers have been gifted the PC. Okay? I know for sure. What about me? What about me? It's lagging again? Ain't no way. Rossi says, to help your stream's production, a $6,000 PC isn't going to be enough. You need Google's quantum computer with the nuclear reactor. If they give it to me for free, I'll set it right up, brother. You know what I mean? Hello. I promise you, $6,000 is way overpriced. Do not burn yourself like that. Okay, well, send me some specs or whatever. You know what? If you can send me some specs via maybe Starforge itself, and like just be like, hey, this could be a little bit better than that. I'll do it, man. I'll do it. I keep trying to find people and DM them and being like, hey, you're with Starforge Systems. Can they just give me a PC? So far, nobody has replied. And also, too, I just noticed my fucking light is not even on. Adam! The big light that we just got. You didn't even have it turned right. All right. Anyways, can we get back on track, guys? It's a tax write-off. Absolutely. It's a tax write-off. 100%. And look, it's not even that big. Like, how do I say this? It's honestly not the money, because I just got some investment. I have like a lot of money actually to spend on exactly things like this. It's the principle, bro. It's the principle. Okay. I want somebody to grease my wheels. Okay? I want somebody to be like, you're great, and we think you could help us sell a lot of PCs. Here's the PC for free. Is that ridiculous? Definitely. But I am a ridiculous person. Okay? I'm just trying to explain. I'm just trying to be honest here, okay? My God. Okay. Josh, a 6K PC is so overkill. You can still buy a pre-built one that will do more than what you need for around $4,000 to $5,000. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. Maybe try getting free coffee first and then work your way up. That's actually a great idea, man. I would take some free coffee, to be honest with you. Will you help them sell PCs, Josh? Yeah, I will. So a little bit of a side tangent here, and then let's get off of me and my bullshit, and let's get into the topics. The last time I had an arrangement with a PC company, we moved over $50,000 in units, and they gave me $0. So I was a little bit frustrated with that. That doesn't seem right. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't seem right. You know, I was looking at the numbers. I was like, the math ain't mathing, dog. Like $50,000 worth of PCs and $0. I did get a free computer. That's true, Trev. Actually, you're right. The computer that I'm on right now was free. I'd like another free one, actually. Yeah, I did get played. You're right. You're not wrong. I did get played. Many such cases. All right, can we get on track? Can we make some content over here? 2K for 50K. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. All right, it's noon, guys. It's noon o'clock. You know what that means? A bunch of Supergirl. So it's noon. Okay, it's noon o'clock on Wednesday, June 24th, which means it's everybody's favorite segment. It's that lovely time of year. What the fuck is this, Adam? Adam! We just had this shit set up. Okay, so we're supposed to find Rotten Tomatoes score for Supergirl. It should be out there. What is it? Okay, let's refresh and see how many reviews have come in thus far. Ooh, no tomato meter yet. That means it's probably gonna take a couple of minutes here for this to kick in. Any predictions, chat, on where the starting Rotten Tomatoes score will be, which is, you know, it's not even really a great indicator, but usually like the first flood of reviews that come in will give us a first look. Usually they'll be like over 10 or whatever, but what's your predictions? What's your predictions on what the actual score will look like? 75? Trev, what do you mean, bro? What do you mean? Have you not been here? 43, 72. You guys think it's gonna be high? So you think all the good reviews are gonna fly in first? Is that kind of what you're saying? Jeremy John's thumbnail looks disappointing. Yeah, that's never a good sign. 57, 60. I think it's gonna hang around 40. I think with the first batch of reviews are gonna sit this thing around 40%. That's what I think. But we'll see. Sub 50. I think you're right, probably. All right, should we try to refresh? Are they in there yet? Whatever it is, it's not going to help. Yeah, you're probably right there. I'm assuming the industry will be in first and start at high. Maybe, yeah. It looks like poop from a butt. It kind of does. All right, let's see here. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, nothing yet. Wait, what is happening? Isn't it supposed to be in there? We're 2 minutes in. Grace Randolph called it shockingly bad. Who's Grace Randolph? It's so bad they're not reviewing it. Wait, what? That would be funny, huh? No burping into the mic. I thought an orc was attacking my vehicle. Oh, hey, by the way, we are doing a Warhammer Wednesday stream tonight at 7:30. I'm very excited. I need that campy out of theater reaction where he pops a blood vessel. Did he pop a blood vessel? Warhammer Wednesday, baby. And we got to talk about 11th edition. It's officially out. Let's try to refresh this. Where's the number? What? What the fuck is happening? Am I crazy? Am I missing something, chat? They're holding like William Wallace. Is it not out yet? Second trailer for X-Men 97 trailer drop. Second trailer for X-Men 97 trailer dropped. Yeah, all right. Did you get the app working that I sent? So I looked into it a bit. So I have a Google or a Chromebook. I might be able to use the app on the Chromebook. I can't download the app for Windows, but I can maybe do it on the Chromebook. And then maybe what I could do is do a screen share from the Chromebook. I'm going to try to set that up. I'm going to try to set it up for tonight. Variety review is out. Not good. Ooh. Roka liked it, but he's very forgiving. Yeah, I watched Roka's review. I wouldn't even say that he liked it. I think he's just kind of being charitable. And he also hates, like, the thing about Roka is he hates the chuds. You know what I mean? Like, he's very anti-chud, which I get because, look, as a card-carrying chud myself, we're pretty terrible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I like us. Birds of a feather, motherfucker. I'd go have a beer with you guys, but you're not super nice. Fucking chuds. So Roka tends to be almost very like reactive to that in his review. You know what I mean? Like, he basically started his review off by being like, everybody that's being mean to Millie's wrong. Her performance is great, and all you idiots that thought she was miscast, you're miscast. And it's like, okay, John, like, what, you know. This building is tight. It is. Harloff just dropped his review. Okay, but are we getting a Rotten Tomato score? Like, what's the opening Rotten Tomato score? Where are we at here? Guys, what? Ain't no way. Ain't no way we're 5 minutes in and we ain't got a Rotten Tomato score yet? You've ruined my segment, Rotten Tomatoes. The fuck? What is happening, dude? This doesn't make any sense. Why is it like this? Adam! What the fuck happened? Dude, this is crazy. What's going on with this stream? We haven't had stream troubles like this in a while, huh? The universe is like, you should have just bought that PC, you idiot. Fuck. Man, I got like fun stuff I want to talk about today. I don't want this stream to... Yeah, man, what the fuck? Is this your first stream, pal? It kind of feels like it. Metacritic at 55? Damn. Holy shit. Oh my god. Metacritic is at 55, bro. Oh my god, that's so bad. Oh, holy shit. Where's the Rotten Tomato? I want to see it with my own eyes. I want to... Oh, one review? We got one review in. Guys, what are the chances? What are the chances it's positive? What are the chances? There's more than one. Ooh, okay, so people are being... Like, this is crazy. People are being way nicer than I expected. So Kate gives it a B. Positive tomato. Nick says Rotten Tomato. Lack of originality or grandeur renders it less than a super spinoff. 4 out of 10. My God. 7 out of 10. 3 out of 5. So I was like a 6 out of 10 with a positive. Another 6 out of 10 positive. 6 out of 10 positive. 6 out of 10 positive. Wow. Dude, I wonder if DC sent out some checks or something. That's crazy. Another 6 out of 10. 3 out of 4 positive. This thing, dude, you guys might have been right. This thing might get fluffed. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. All right, let's keep going here. Another B minus. They're positive. B minus, but positive. I mean, it's like a lot of like B's and C's. Like a 6 out of 10 feels like a C to me. But they're still giving it a fair tomato. That is like way better than I expected. Do we have an aggregate yet? Because that would put it at probably like 50 or 60. We do not have an aggregate yet. Yeah, so it's just not doing the full aggregate yet, but a lot of people have their reviews piling in. Okay. All right. We'll revisit this, man. We'll revisit this later. We'll get back to DC. I want to talk about some good stuff. I want to talk about Marvel. So, dude, what the fuck? Oh, wait. Hang on now. What is what is happening? Are you serious? Are you serious? Why is it on in this one? I just went to take my headphones off and I don't even have headphones on. It's the worst stream of my life. All I wanted to do is have a nice little stream. All I want to do is shit on Supergirl. All I wanted to do is shit on Supergirl and James Gunn, and he's such a fucking idiot. Why? Okay. Woosah. Woosah, baby. Woosah. Calm down. Whew. Okay, do we have an aggregate yet? What the fuck is this stream, dude? The fuck is this stream? What is happening? We still don't have an aggregate. Don't worry, we're going to get there. Okay. All right, we need to talk about Spider-Man's The Brand New Day, because there's actually some pretty crazy stuff out there about it. Number one, yes, indeed, the first 18 minutes of it were apparently seen by some people, and some of it might have leaked out. Some of it was seen at a Comic-Con, maybe behind closed doors, which I think could explain, actually, why a lot more of that footage was out there. Remember when the Russian hackers claimed that they'd be hacking everything, right? And that they've got all these copies of Doomsday and, you know, Supergirl, but nobody really cared. They were like, dude, we don't want to watch that. So these Russian hacker motherfuckers, they acted like they had all this stuff, okay? Well, it appears it might have come from this 18 minutes, and that was probably out in some kind of digital circulation. That's probably where they got it from. So we'll talk about that. But we also need to talk about the villain of the movie, because there's some really interesting things being said. Why is there two of me? Why did I disappear? The fuck? Adam! Okay, anyway. Some really interesting things going on with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay. So what am I talking about? Daniel, RPs of the Ks, had said that nobody knows who the villain of Spider-Man is. And this caused a lot of people to be like, wait a minute, what? But I thought it was this person. I thought it was that person. This, that, second, and the third. It also caused a bunch of people to start to speculate about ridiculous ass shit that's so off the wall and crazy that Daniel came out and he had to clarify. And so he said that despite the main villain of Spider-Man Brand New Day being a secret, it's not a surprise villain. Can I tell you guys a little bit of inside baseball real quick? Just real quick. Did the stream crash yet? Did the stream crash? Are we still live? Adam! Okay, listen. Ooh, 59. Okay, that's way better than I thought. Listen. Little inside baseball for you. one of the reasons I believe that a lot of these leakers are actually connected to the studio is because I know, and I can't explain how I know this, but I know that what Kevin really hates is leaks that are way different than what they're doing. Okay? So, like, part of the reason that these leakers are able to get this information is because I think Kevin realized very early on that anything way outside of the scope of what the movie is can really set false expectations, and that's a problem. That actually hurts the studio. That actually hurts the movie. It's not that they need the scoops to be necessarily accurate, but they don't want them to be so inaccurate that they create a false expectation. Okay? And that's part of the reason why I think, like, Daniel's in on it. Because there's no reason for him to come out and clarify this in any way other than that his first initial comments about this put people on a totally separate track that was giving them absolutely ridiculous ideas. Okay? So Daniel says that even though it's a secret, it's not a surprise villain. Okay? And this is because Tom Holland, of course, said that the main villain is a secret. And again, Daniel said, I hear that's correct, but it's not a surprise. So, who's this villain? Who could be the secret villain that's not a surprise? I think at this point, the only person that fits the bill for that is Jean Grey, right? That's what I think. It has to be Jean Grey. Because that's the only character that could be a secret. It's the only character they're really keeping a secret in the movie. There's no other big secrets. There's no other big things they're hiding other than maybe a Robert Downey Jr. But there's no secret. I think all of those other villains, like a Downey's Junior Doom or a Mephisto or even a Shadow King, a Mr. Negative, right? All of those things. Those would be a surprise. And the reason they'd be a surprise is because we have no evidence of them being in the movie. No leaker has suggested that they're in the movie. I know early on there was some speculation about Mr. Negative, but very clearly that was never that never materialized. Even Jackal is not in the movie. You're not going to see Jackal in the movie, from what I understand. So, who could be the secret? Like, who could be a secret that's not a surprise? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? The only character that makes sense for is Jean Grey, in my opinion. Okay? The other thing that we have to bring up is the 18 minutes of footage that we're seeing. And this was seen at a Comic-Con, and somebody brought this up to me on Tombstone. But would Tombstone be a surprise? Like, do you see what I mean? Like, how would Tombstone be a surprise? You know what I mean? And it's not like they're keeping Tombstone a secret. Like, this is, to me, this is very specific. They're definitely not keeping Tombstone secret. So, yeah, I think it would have to be Sadie Sink's Jean Grey, okay? And part of the reason why I think this has to do with Jeff Snyder. Now, I've mentioned this before. I could be getting this wrong, by the way. I could absolutely be getting this wrong, but follow this logic. Jeff admitted that one of the things that made him believe Sadie was not Jean Grey is that there was a call sheet, or rather a casting grid, that seemed to be looking for a character with the same powers of Jean Grey that was said to be villainous, that was going out for a different actress. That one gal from Succession, something Snook or whatever, she was in the running for that. And Jeff literally said, guys, he literally said that that's one of the reasons he did not believe that Sadie could be Jean Grey, because he assumed that this psychic villain thing, this connection to this other character, was out for the casting for this other character. Now, they never ended up casting that character. Okay? And I think the reason why is because they decided to just remove that and allow it to just be Jean. She's like the villain. It's really her being driven to her dark side, much like Hulk is really, potentially a villain. It's not Bruce Banner, it's Hulk. But that's actually what I believe is going on. And when you look at the first 18 minutes of the movie, and I gotta try to pull up what this person said. I don't know. Maybe I'll be able to pull it up. Somebody shared this on our Discord. They said there's a twist that happens in Spider-Man that happens within like the first 10 minutes of the movie. And it's like really shocking, and it has to do with the villain. And it's like, I mean, I just personally think that's all connected to Jean Grey and Sadie Sink. And, you know, I'm sure there's thoughts on that. I'm sure there's all sorts of, you know, people don't believe it, or they would complain about it, or this, that, second, and the third. But I want you to think about this. In stark contrast to what they did with Supergirl in the DCU, what Marvel looks to be doing, and by the way, I just recorded a big video about Phoenix and Jean, because it's not just Sadie, it's Femke too, and the combination of these two is like, dude, it's gonna be mind blowing. So check that video out; it'll probably drop tomorrow. But here's like the TLDR of part of that idea. They are going to use Phoenix Jean and her start of going to the dark side and the danger of her power to be the catalyst for the people of 616 to fear the mutants, to want to shut them down, to not accept them, okay? And also, it'll be this lingering thing over top of our Jean Grey as we go into the mutant saga that will kind of like always be this other shoe we're waiting to drop. And that's so much better of a way to build up this prominent female character, this really iconic character in your comic book universe, than by like doing the Jean Grey movie. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? They're going to bring her in a version where she doesn't have the guidance of Xavier. She's lost, and the Phoenix is like pushing her to use her powers in a way that are actually really destructive. It's really messed up. And Peter Parker will probably help her to see the light in that, get her to avoid being completely overtaken by the Phoenix. That will support their working together in Secret Wars. But when we get into the reboot, it'll be this lingering thing. It'll be this really, really crazy thing. So that's what I think is going on. I mean, I'd love to know what you guys think, man. Because, again, some of you guys don't even believe it. You don't even believe the Jean Grey thing. But I think all these comments, right? Because another thing that Tom Holland said was he's like, everybody in the MCU forgot who Peter Parker is except for one person. And Daniel literally clarified that that's Jean Grey, right? Because Daniel's like, he's not going to pretend that she's not Jean anymore. He's being honest about that. And yeah, so that's where I think we're at. What do you guys think? Jean Grey, Sadie Sink Jean Grey, the villain of this movie. Good idea, bad idea? You don't believe it? That's crazy. What do you think? What do you think, chat? The reviews are really bad, 56% for Supergirl. Yeah, I believe it. Again, I predicted it would be a Rotten Tomato. I think I'm going to be proven to be correct on that. How does she know who Spidey is? There's two ways she could know. Number one, it's just her psychic abilities and it like prevented the spell from working. Or her psychic abilities allow her to see into the mind of Peter, and therefore, even though the spell worked on her, she can see past it. And then she knows who Peter Parker is and knows who Spider-Man is. And it's probably more of the latter there. Yeah. Too crazy? What do you mean? In what sense? It would be too crazy that she's the villain? Now, it could be the case that there's another force that's pushing Jean other than Phoenix. Maybe. But I just really don't see that. I don't see how that works here. 58% splat for Supergirl? Yeah. Phoenix knows who Spidey is, not Sadie. No, I think Jean Grey knows. I think Jean knows. Doom. I thought Peter was immune to the psychic abilities. So it appears that his mutations into being Man Spider or the other are giving him an immunity. But I think all that really means is she can't take him over. And the way that she can take other people over, she can't do that. Which those are different abilities, actually. So telepathy is not the same thing as mental dominion. So certain characters, and Jean's capable of mental dominion, of course, in the comics, and in this movie apparently too. But that's different. It's actually different than telepathy. Telepathy is just like being able to read or receive the thoughts. Mental dominion is something different. Jay Lavin, welcome back to the Nerd Avengers. Appreciate you. Do you think Supergirl potentially flopping will kill any potential Clayface has? It's certainly not going to help. Why would Jean be bad? She's against other superpowered people, or is she just fighting damage control? So the way I understand this, and I don't know for sure, but the way I understand it is, this is a Jean that basically it's late puberty. Like, think of it like this. Tom Holland has already said that one of the themes of Spider-Man is like spider puberty or like super puberty. He said this, okay? He said this. I think that is going to be reflected in Jean Grey as well, because think about it like this. The X-Men, the original allegory that the X-Men writers were working with was not civil rights. It was not. It was actually more of puberty. The idea was every human goes through this change of puberty. You're ostracized, all these changes. People make fun of you. You feel isolated. It's bad, all these things, right? They later, of course, discovered that it was a great allegory for civil rights, and they leaned into it. But originally, it's actually for puberty and the otherizing that we do to people that are different. So if Holland's out here saying this is spider puberty or super puberty, and then we've got Jean Grey, doesn't it make sense that she would be going through the same thing as Peter? So this is a Jean Grey that is getting her powers much later in life. How old is she? She looks to be like 19 or something in this movie, right? In the original comics, Jean Grey gets her powers when she's like 11 or 12. Okay? And when she gets her powers, it's like, it's really not great. You know, some bad stuff happens. And in the movie version, Magneto and Charles meet her when she's really, really young. He puts mental blocks in her and then recruits her and brings her into the X-Men and trains her. She's actually like super young when she's brought onto the X-Men, okay? So this is a version of Jean that didn't have that, because He Who Remains had prevented whatever caused mutations from happening, okay? Which, you know, something else, and I was actually, this is in the video too, but I was thinking about this. In 838, we know Stephen Strange had his accident and got his powers like 5 years earlier than he does in 616. And we also know that there are mutants in that universe. So whatever was it seems like in 616, He Who Remains was delaying things, or maybe solely completely preventing some things. And it seems like mutants are one of those things that he was basically preventing. And so if He Who Remains was preventing mutants from happening, right? And then after He Who Remains is killed, the multiverse breaks free. That thing is no longer being held back. And so now it's going to happen in a different way. So then maybe the blip and the snap or whatever it was, maybe it's the Eternal popping out of the sea, or the whatever the thing is. Now Jean Grey's got her powers. Okay? So that's the way I'm perceiving it, is like, this isn't Jean Grey that was raised by Charles Xavier, that has all the powers, the control, you know, she knows Cyclops, she knows all these mutants, and then she just breaks bad for some reason. You know? Like, that's not what I think is going on. I think it's, no, she has a different origin than other Jean Greys. And that would make a lot of sense, right? Because Tom Holland doesn't even have the same origin as the other Spiders. 616 is different. You know what I mean? 616 is different. Oh. Bro, what the fuck? Yeah, the stream's, dude, I don't know what's going on. The stream's never been this bad. Now making a short. I should have bought this fucking PC. Goddamn universe. Don't worry, guys. I'll get this solved. I'll get this solved before Warhammer tonight. I'll get this solved before the Warhammer stream. We're lagging again? Chat, don't worry. We're going to be okay, okay? Okay, let's do this together. Ready? Sing it, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Yeah. I'm going to try to move as little as possible. Maybe if I actually lag, we'll fix it. Is that about how it goes? Maybe that we'll just have to fake it out, dude. Like if we act like we're see what I mean? We're gonna trick it, dude. What a wonderful day, man. What a wonderful day. It's just, you know, you take a couple of days off and then you're really excited to get back to it. You're like, dude, I made all these improvements. I've tweaked all this stuff. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling good. You know, I woke up early today, you know, and I was like, I can't wait to shit all over Supergirl and James Gunn. And like, God, he's such an idiot. And, you know, it's just great that he's proving what an idiot he is. I mean, to be honest with you, like, I was probably going to call him an idiot either way, but he could have succeeded. You know what I mean? Like, he could have succeeded and done amazing and then made me look really, really bad. We're up to 61%. Get the fuck out of here. Let me see this shit. Guns out here. 61% makes me sick. Makes me sick. I'm going to look so silly if it's not rotten. Yeah, who fucking cares? That shit's cooked anyway. All right. Should we chance one more topic? What is even happening today? Like, what? Like, I have to go. I thought everything was good. Now I have to, like, go home and rethink my life. I don't want to sell you death sticks. You know? X-Men 97 promo is out. It's awesome. React to it. Read your super chat about Jean. Okay, let me see the super chat about Jean. Solar flares, bro. Wait, what? Omnisci is hating your ass right now. Better start doing some prayers to fix it tonight. Hopefully it's Lore Hammer stream too. Love going into it. Yeah, we'll do some lore. Hey, Josh, Nerd Venging for 24 months. Love all your content. Can't believe how bad the Guns movies are doing. I like Superman, but not sure why it flops. Yeah, you know what? I actually really like Superman. I like that Superman movie. But I find myself not wanting to see it again. Like, I haven't watched it again on digital. I didn't watch it again in the theaters. And I just feel like the overall universe is very sauceless. It doesn't have sauce. It doesn't have motion. And that is a shame. Steve McT says, people are saying she's too villainous, but she's being hunted, a wild, powerful animal backed into a corner. Peter only knows what damage control tells him about her. Yeah, I think that's actually fair, bro. I think that is a really fair assessment of the thing. That's a good explanation for Jean. It's like an animal backed into a corner. Like, she doesn't know, man. This isn't a fully formed Jean Grey. You know what I mean? Yeah. Can we try one more thing? I swear to God, my cortisol, dude. Whatever the stupid kids say today about their cortisol and mogging and all that stupid shit. Dude, my cortisol is mogging the fuck out of my butthole today, dude. Is that how you're supposed to say it? My cortisol is mogging my butthole, dog. Like, holy shit. That's pretty much how it's supposed to go. Stream is going great so far. Thanks, bud. Haha, Supergirl sucks. Sorry, gun cultist. Yeah, no, I'm actually sorry for them, though. You know? Like, not in a facetious way. Like, I actually feel bad. And I'm sorry that you chose to follow such a talentless hack, stealing credit from his co-writer and trying to arbitrate her name off of the shit. Oh my God. You should see how people that aren't like, never mind. You know, let's just avoid. He sucks ass. He's a terrible person, terrible creator, terrible CEO, terrible stylist. I feel bad for them. Never gonna let that go. Who, me or the gal that won the court case that had the fuck James Gunn party that was very well documented in Joanna Robinson's book, The Reign of the Marvel Studios? What are you talking about? Who's gonna not let it go? Me? Little old me? Sir Kendrick the Yapper says, coming from a different perspective, I think they need at least to see the plan through. Even if they drop him, they can't reboot at this point. That's, you know what? It's like fair. Here's what I would say. Here's what I'll say about this. And I bet it's lagging again, huh? Don't even make me look at it. Don't even do it. Actually, it seems like it's all right. You know. 6 minutes ago. Okay, yeah. We chilling. We big chilling here. It's good. We're good. Josh, can you talk about how amazing Hot D was? I thought it was all right. Did I call you Kendrick? My bad, dude. Kendall, my bad. Here's what I'll say. They could technically keep Gunn, but they have to very quickly get out of whatever this phase is, Gods and Monsters or Super Family Saga. He's called it two different things at this point, right? They need a shift. They need a clear sign that things are going to be different. They probably need fucking Batman, right? Like, this is just such a, like, what are we doing here? They need Batman, clearly. So could they technically turn this thing around? I guess so, if there was enough of a change to signal to people that it was going to be different. But like, dude, I just got to tell you, like, and I'm not even saying this because I don't like what's happening. I think this shit is cooked, man. Like, I personally do not think Man of Tomorrow is going to do even as well as Superman. And it's going to literally cost more and it's going to do worse. I think you do shut it down. And I think especially if you have an anime, let's say you got an anime studio working on a absolute universe right now. Okay? Then you cancel the DCU. You let Gunn do his oh yeah, no, I think it's cooked. I think you do Man of Tomorrow, and then you fade away. And you let the absolute animated movie, which would hit either in 2028 or 2029, let that carry your shit for a while you find the next version. Live action DC could use at least a 3-year break. Maybe 5 years. Like, I'm serious. Like, that's the way I'm viewing it, is like, because, man, look, DC right now in comics is doing very well. But the degree to which that matters for the overall DC ecosystem and where it sits with people and the zeitgeist does not matter. And here's how I know that. Because even throughout all the Zack Snyder stuff, which, like, look, I'm going to be fair, that stuff was not as successful as it needed to be. And holy shit, was it on average way more successful than what Gunn has done, or the 5 movies that, by the way, he gave notes on as he talked about a 10-year reboot coming out. Like, dude, the degree to which he fucked this up is crazy. It's crazy. But the point I'm making is this. Even when Zack Snyder was doing his thing, DC was not prevalent. It wasn't like what Marvel is. It didn't break through in the same way. And yet, most people would tell you, most nerds would tell you, the animated stuff is great, though. And it legitimately was. Bruce Timm and that animated stuff was phenomenal. And yet, that didn't carry water for DC overall. It's not like all those people that saw Batman v Superman and were like, this is ass. Because the theatrical version of that movie was terrible. We watched Batman v Superman, and it's like, we're not gonna watch that movie and be like, I don't know about fucking DC characters. And then somebody's gonna tell you, oh, but dude, this animated John is really where it's at. No, that doesn't work, dude. It's the same thing with comics. So right now, DC is killing it in comics. The Absolute Universe is selling millions of copies, which is crazy. That is success outside of the normal purview of what that industry has been able to muster consistently for like a decade, maybe more. You're talking about some serious motion. Those are manga numbers, bro. Those are manga numbers. And yet, if, you know, James Gunn's band of misfit toys and B-level celebrities so that we can pay them thousands of dollars instead of millions of dollars thing continues to be the biggest live action part of DC, none of that comic book success is going to matter overall. It's not going to move the needle for what DC needs to be, what it should be by all rights. And that's a competitor to Marvel, a true competitor to Marvel. And something that like has something to say. Holy shit, these characters are epic. Some of the stories they've done are incredible. They deserve to be seen in such a way and celebrated in such a way that, just like with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, people are lining up, a lot of conversations, people are excited about it, etc., etc. Brother, they have this beautiful opportunity. Like, I think if I were the Ellisons, right, or if I were any of these people that are at Paramount right now looking at what's going on, I would be like, so how do we fast track live action absolute? Like, I'm legit. I'm 100%. Like, how do we fast track live action absolute? And it's like, so maybe Gunn would still cling to his plan and still want to do his stuff. And then you're like, okay, fine. It's now Elseworld, and we're going to push through on this because, you know, the Absolute Universe is technically Elseworld anyway. And we're going to go all in on this. Like, why or how wouldn't that make sense, right? So I get what you're saying as far as if you were to reboot again, it hurts the stock of DC. But guys, you're talking about a stock that is already basically bottom of the barrel. The way people think of DC at large
is that it is whack as fuck. I know that probably hurts DC fans to hear, but it's true. Y'all aren't even the JV squad. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. And Gunn has done nothing to improve it. At least as far as I'm concerned. I remember my first streams. Here's $10 to get a new PC. Thanks a lot, brother. That'll be going directly to Warhammer. Are we still live? Has the lag started again? Are we lagging? Should I just end the stream? Read my super chat. Okay, fine. Kablucho. Klobaka says, Fire Gun, keep Corn Sweat, soft reboot merge, Pattinson is the only way. I bet my life savings. Thoughts? Well, no, that could absolutely work. That could work. The problem is, Corn Sweat's Superman is now going to be the Superman that underperformed in his premiere, was a part of a flop, and wasn't able to actually draw anybody in to help that. And again, if Man of Tomorrow flops, then he's a 3-flop boy. Get him the fuck out of my face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. But it ain't show friends. It's show business. See ya. Weren't you supposed to react to the X-Men 97 trailer? Yeah, maybe I was. Uno Dub Nintendo says, there's no way a film titled Man of Tomorrow tops a film called Superman. Only us nerds know what that even means, and it's clearly, and shouldn't be, not Guardians. Likely won't have word of mouth. Yeah, and it's like, again, react to the Nightfall trailer? No, I can't react to trailers today, guys. I don't have the headphones because of Adam. Okay? Might as well play some copyrighted stuff. The stream's gonna get deleted anyway. Yeah, Adam, but I can't listen to it because I don't have my headphones. And whose fault is that, Adam? My investors are probably watching the stream like, we may have miscalculated. we may have. Is this a bad investment? No, we're gonna figure it out. It's the soul. It's the machine elves and the solar flares. Don't worry. Don't worry, baby. If I got to, I'll start ripping off my clothes. We'll get these views no matter what. Don't worry. So you're telling me there's no headphones in the house? No, probably not, brother. Probably not wired headphones. It's probably all wireless headphones. Okay? All right, one last topic. Oh my God, Darth Saber, check my 2 super chats. Love you, bud. Appreciate it, bud. Thanks so much. Let's see what you got to say. I'm sure these won't trigger me at all. That Supergirl movie is so bad it makes Flash movie look like Citizen Kang. Okay, that's pretty good. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see here. Honeycomb says, I could be wrong, but the DC fails. I don't see how the studio can justify making another connected DC universe again. Yeah, you got to start. You got to do something very different. You know, obviously. You can't just like, well, let's try that same thing again. No. You need something different. That's why I think the Absolute Universe actually could be great. I hope Pedro chokes on a scallop like Scar did. Also, wait, what? Josh, no Supergun loser segment. Let's just jump into Warhammer. Oh, okay. I probably should have read that a while ago. Huh? Okay, I got one last thing to do today. I'm gonna try to have a little fun. Obviously, the stream has been scuffed as fuck, which is a damn shame because I really just wanted to shit all over Supergirl in crispy quality. I can't believe it's 61%. Who are these people? Cat Hughes? Despite not being as mighty as Superman, Supergirl remains a fun space journey, one capable of filling at least some of the void left with the conclusion of Guardians of the Galaxy series? No. Revoke her citizenship. Zaki says, Alcock Supergirl has to grow into the hero she's destined to become. That means she's not heroic at all in this movie. And by the time the credits roll, it's her performance, not the increasingly oversized spectacle surrounding it, that leaves the strongest impression. Send him to Guantanamo Bay. Joshua Ryan says, Giuseppe's follow-up to Gun Superman doesn't feel nearly as polished, but they handed me a check, so I gave it a 7 out of 10. Felony offense, you know? Oh, I'm getting fucking mad, dude. Okay, get these reviews out of here. Everybody shut up.
It's begging for economic.
Everybody, shut up. We're going to have one last good segment here. Okay? We're going to have fun. All right, so while we're all focused on Supergirl flopping and the DCU's failure, and while we're all focused on Star Wars being dead and a ruined franchise, and we're focused on the Marvel comeback and surprising amounts of excitement and hype building around Spider-Man Brand New Day and Doomsday, it's also important to look ahead at the future. Because, you know, I've made this point many times, but it's like, yeah, Marvel's probably going to pop off this year. You know, Spider-Man's going to pop off. Doomsday's going to pop off. Secret Wars is probably going to pop off, you know? But what about after that? You know, are we going to go back to the phases? Are we going to go back to like a Black Widow movie that should have happened 10 years ago? Shang-Chi, trying to make that cool like Fetch. Like, what are we doing here? Well, some exciting tidbits coming out from Mr. Alex Perez, who to this day is one of the most plugged in and informed scoopers that are out there, okay? And this tweet from Alex really got me excited, guys. And there's one specific thing in this that there was details that somebody else gave me that are mind-blowing. But so let's just go through this. Alex says, I kind of want to get the Multiverse Saga over with. I want to talk about mutants, Shadow King, Mr. Sinister, Nova Corps, Symbiote, interesting, Magi, interesting, Elektra, Defenders, why Bullseye's after Danielle, don't know what that's about, Thunderbolts verse 2.0, the Eternals and Celestials, and Judgment Day. Okay, so a lot of crazy stuff here. Let's try to just consolidate this and think this through. So let's go from the last one to the beginning, and we also have to talk about Shadow King and how Denzel Washington might be playing Shadow King. Dude, amazing. Fucking holy shit. That's perfect. So anyway, let's get into this. Judgment Day. Why is he talking about Judgment Day? Well, for the longest time, we have heard from people like Alex that the Marvel plan for the X-Men and the mutants in the next saga will arrive at some kind of a Judgment Day thing. Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals. Judgment Day was an event that happened in Marvel Comics where essentially it is revealed that the mutant gene is a version of the deviant gene, and it was probably created by the Celestials. And this kind of makes it so the Eternals have to essentially try to wipe the mutants out, because if they're deviants, that's just a part of their program. They have to stop the deviants, okay? It also has to do with Celestials coming back and judging everybody. So you can kind of think of Judgment Day, the Eternals, and the Celestials wrapped up together, and that's cool. I'm excited about that, and I do think Sadie Sink's Jean Grey will play a role in that, actually. Thunderbolts verse 2.0. What could this actually mean? Is this the fact that we're going to do a Thunderbolts movie where they're versing somebody like Bob in a 2.0 version? Are they going to face another really powerful being like Sentry in a 2.0? I don't really know. That's pretty cool. Elektra, Defenders, and Bullseye, that's all wrapped up into the Daredevil show, and we did just get some leaks of Elektra's return. That's pretty cool as well. Magi, however, that is something different. That's connected to Kingpin. That's connected to characters like Hammerhead. And it's basically like a version of an organized crime unit, which deals in some ways with Hobgoblin. So there's kind of like some interesting things that could be going on with Hobgoblin or versions of Hobgoblin, the Magi, some of the villains in New York City, and Spider-Man. Symbiote is interesting. And in fact, Alex actually earlier today that this symbiote thing will be new. It'll be connected to Tom Holland. It's going to be its own thing and possibly set up via Secret Wars as well. Nova Corps, we've heard about this. Nova Corps seems to be a big part of what they want to do. Richard Rider's apparently going to be a big part of this. They were going to do a show. They couldn't decide if the show should be a movie or a really big high-profile show. This might set up Annihilus. And Annihilus, by the way, could be connected to dark or fallen Celestials and some imbalance at the cosmic level, which would tie into Judgment Day. So it's possible Annihilus becomes some kind of a catalyst for Judgment Day, or something to do with Secret Wars allows Annihilus to be, coming out. I don't really know. There's also Mr. Sinister. Are you telling me that audio killed again? Are you telling me the audio stopped working again? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Chat! The music blared? What music? Wow. Oh, I had a video playing? Awesome. Great. Incredible. Oh, there's probably a thing playing on Variety. Okay, all right. Well, don't worry, we'll clean it up. I'm so excited about how much editing we're going to have to do on these clips. Yeah, it was diabolical. Great. Wonderful. I'm glad. Okay, so let me ask you this. Is this technically speaking the worst stream we've ever had? Can we throw a one into the chat? Is this the technically worst stream that we've ever had? Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, I just want to make sure. So let's pat ourselves on the back. Okay, let's pat ourselves on the back. And let's give a round of applause. Let's give a round of applause, because this probably as bad as it's ever going to be. And we're somehow making it. I somehow haven't raged out and broke anything, you know what I mean? And somehow we're still having fun. So I feel like we need to take a minute here and just admit that we were here. You were here on the worst Den of Nerds stream ever. Okay? Yeah, that's right. You were there. This is a day that will live in infamy. Yeah, you were here. You were here the day the stream stood still. You know what I mean? You were here the day that the stream was somehow more embarrassing than James Goon's DCU. You were here when even this moment that I'm trying to discuss the thing was ruined by the fucking lag. I can't fucking believe this shit! Hell yeah. Worst one ever. Hell yeah. Okay. Let's finish this segment up, okay? So he says, Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And we've heard a lot about Mr. Sinister being involved. I also find the Mr. Sinister thing potentially connected to Jean Grey, Phoenix Force, but also the Scotters, or the Scotters? Hello. The Summers bloodline and how that's really exciting for all of them. So Mr. Sinister totally fits. And then the mutants in general, too. But here's the thing. So he says Shadow King. Okay? He says Shadow King here. And this did get some eyebrows to go up in the collective fandom because the Shadow King is awesome. The Shadow King that was in the Legion show, I absolutely love that performance. That guy's a brilliant performer and just brought such gravitas to the role of Farouk and was spooky when he needed to be spooky. He was endearing when he needed to be endearing. Very nuanced, complex role with a big range. I loved that guy, okay? Getting Shadow King in general is a big dub because that's a really fun character with really cool powers. But, and this was brought up by the Geeky Cast, who, again, Geeky claims to have a bunch of news sources, so I'm trying to throw him a bone and be like, okay, these are new reports from Geeky. Since he got his news sources, we'll see. A lot of people are clowning, whatever, but I'm open to it. If he really has sources, if he's really going to, report some accurate things, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? That would be cool. So let's just throw that caveat out there. But what he said was that this is the role that Ryan Coogler wrote for Denzel fucking Washington, bro. Okay? Guys, that would be next level, dude. That would be next level shit. Because there's honestly not a lot of actors that you could just name as being cast as the Shadow King or Farouk, and I would instantly be like, oh shit, that could be even better than the guy from Legion. Because I'm actually being serious. That guy's performance I think is legendary. Legendary. I love that version of the Shadow King. But Denzel Washington, one of the greatest actors of all time? I mean, dude, I love Denzel. And he takes a movie over. His presence is so palpable, man. He has such strong, palpable masculinity that he can bring into these roles. It's awesome. And to see him get a character like the Shadow King, oh my God, bro, that's a really exciting prospect, especially because you think about where Wakanda is at, and you think about where Shuri will be at after Secret Wars, right? And you think about where a young T'Challa might be at after Secret Wars. The ability for a Denzel Washington Shadow King to be able to read their mind, to be able to mess with them, to be able to drag them through psychological issues, terrors, and problems, and then also being very powerful in his own right. Dude, that's cool. There's a lot there. And it also would explain a lot of things, right? Because Alex Perez and some of these other people keep hinting that Denzel is going to be a mutant. And there were rumors that Denzel was going to be Magneto. Of course, this would cause some consternation because Magneto's Jewish in the comics. He's actually Jewish German. But still, yeah, he's Jewish. And obviously the Holocaust is a big part of his story. So it would be weird to sort of race bend him, not just because race bending in general, I think people are kind of over it, but also, again, the Holocaust is very specific. And you would think Denzel, as a person that understands this, would not sign up for that kind of a role, right? Which is maybe something we should have thought about more. But I wasn't necessarily against it myself. I could see it as a new interpretation of Magneto or whatever. But people were going to be butthurt about it. But this right? This, him being the Shadow King and being a part of whatever they're doing with the Wakandans, that would make a lot more sense, man. That would make a lot more sense. And it would allow Denzel to probably step away and it not to be a very big deal. Maybe his Shadow King would be so beloved that he'd eventually come back for a cameo or something. But, like, you definitely don't need that. So this fits a little bit more for what I think Denzel would sign up for. I also love the idea of Coogler thinking of Denzel specifically when writing this. That adds another layer. Like, that, honest to God, adds another layer, because I really like Coogler. I think Ryan is brilliant, and he's had so much success, obviously, with Sinners and all the other things that he's doing. And for him to turn around and be like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do another of these movies in Wakanda, and I want to take this awesome dude in Denzel, who actually Denzel has a connection to Chad, because Denzel footed the bill for at least one of the years of Chad's school when he went wherever he went. So there's a connection there. Denzel's obviously like a staple as an actor. So, like, Coogler considering all of that and writing the role of Farouk for him, oh my God, bro. Like, that's just really exciting. Like, that's really, really exciting for me. That's an exciting prospect. So I hope it's real. I'm going to be a little bit mad. I'm going to be a little bit mad at Geeky if it ends up not being real. But yeah, that's freaking cool. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about all this fun Marvel stuff? I mean, I legitimately, this is cool, man. Mutants, Shadow King, Mr. Sinister, it sounds amazing. Nova Corps, totally. The Symbiote, absolutely. Magi, sure. Elektra, she's so hot. Defenders, I'm down. Bullseye, okay, maybe. Thunderbolt verse 2.0, okay. Eternal, Celestial, and Judgment Day, that actually has me excited. That seems cool. So I think Marvel's cooking, chat. What do you think? Josh, read my Maddie V Super. Okay. I'm telling you, don't trust Geeky. He's just a theorist who saw money in the leaking game. I know Chad a little bit more than that. I don't think that's accurate. I've been critical of his ability to actually know what's going on in the past. But all I can tell you is that he claims to have news sources, and I'm going to try to throw him a bone. We're going to know really quickly if he's right or wrong. He's going to equalize some shit. I hope he... Why doesn't he come equalize this stream, bro? Why can't he equalize the stream? The Spanish guy says Doom hates Reed but hates Iron Man because he was forced to be Stark by He Who Remains. He will hate him so much because Reed is the Tony Stark of the MCU. Yeah, something like that, man. Hey, Maddie, appreciate that. Great chat. Just got here. Did I miss the Supergirl crash out? Can you leave me one so I can watch on replay after work, chat? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thanks, Maddie. Really appreciate that super. It was great. All right. Any other thoughts? Oh my God, bro. Guys, don't worry. I got something. I'm so miserable now! gonna be going into the doctor soon and trying to get Guatemalan steroids. You know, like the strongest, straight from Guatemala steroids, craziest, high-powered, testosterone-filled, totally jacked to the gills, fucking World War Hulk style steroids. And I'm gonna be jabbing my ass cheeks with those things on the daily. From here, and that's up, baby. So we're gonna get up, get nice and hard, and stand up to attention. And
I'm gonna be jabbing my ass.
Yeah, we're gonna
those things on the daily.
Yeah, we're gonna do that too. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. Thanks for being a part of the worst Den of Nerds stream ever fucking done. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. See ya. I'm so miserable!